Hello everybody, I am Dr. Siddharth Mani, Consultant Interventional Cardiologist from R.N. Tagore Hospital, Mukundapur, Kolkata. Today I will be discussing with you regarding some of the most common and most dreadful symptoms in cardiology. The most important to us cardiologists are the symptoms of chest pain, shortness of breath, syncope, and some other symptoms like pedal edema, or sometimes sweating and other angina equivalents. Most important among these is obviously chest pain, because chest pain is the symptom of coronary artery disease and most importantly of heart attacks. So first of all, you need to know which type of chest pain should be considered as cardiac and which chest pain can be considered as non-cardiac. The most important factor for us is whether the chest pain is exertional or not. But before that, you have to know the location also and the radiation of the pain. Let me explain you that chest pain which are cardiac in nature are usually central chest pain. People often tend to believe that it is a left-sided chest pain. It is usually not a left-sided chest pain. It is a central chest pain with slightly towards the left side. Sometimes the chest pain can also involve the right side of the chest also. So it is a misconception that it will be a left-sided chest pain. It is usually a central chest pain and it is compressive in nature. That is, it is not like pain of a trauma or a fracture sort of pain. It is a heaviness or a compressive type of pain, and patient often explains that I feel like some belt has been tightened over my chest or some heavy object has been put over my chest. So that is the type of pain. It is a heaviness and it radiates to the inner side of the left arm. That is, it is mostly radiated to the fingertip also, like this, along the inner side of the left arm, and it also radiates to the two shoulders and up to the lower jaw. Usually chest pain which are cardiac in nature do not radiate to the upper jaw. So up to the chin or up to the lower jaw or up to the neck, that is usually the site of radiation of chest pain. And this chest pain, as I said, is mostly exertional. That is, patient, whenever the patient is walking brisk or patient is walking upstairs or running or doing some exertional activities like carrying some heavy objects or cycling, or particularly some patients say that whenever I walk after heavy meals or in the early morning, especially in winter, or walking uphill in the early morning. So these are the time when patient feels chest heaviness, and when the patient takes rest or gets relieved of the anxiety or exertion a bit, the chest pain gradually subsides. Another important factor is whether it is getting relieved with sorbitrate. So somebody in such a situation puts a sorbitrate under the tongue and the chest pain gets relieved. So that is very classical, what we call angina. Angina means cardiac chest pain arising from coronary artery disease. But in this regard to chest pain, remember two important things. Three set of patients do not have chest pain. Number one and most important is diabetics. Do not, or I should say may not have chest pain. That is diabetics, number one. Number two is elderly patients, and number three is females. So these three set of patients often do not have chest pain. Another important thing is during heart attacks or during accelerated angina, which we call as unstable angina or heart attacks. In that situation, chest pain is also at rest. So don't believe that, don't be all very confident that I am not having exertional chest pain, so I am not having any cardiac diseases. So rest pain can also suggest cardiac diseases, particularly when it is more serious or when it is leading to heart attacks. So what is the nature of chest pain in heart attacks? Suppose a patient suddenly has a heart attack, that will be associated with a very severe chest pain associated with sweating, shortness of breath, or any other complications like loss of consciousness, and it will not be relieved in maybe say 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So I will request my viewers that any severe chest pain not getting relieved in 5 minutes with a sorbitrate or with taking rest, immediately rush to the emergency because it can be a sign of heart attack, and then confirm, do some basic investigations like ECG and troponins, and then if you find no signs of heart attack, come back safely to your home. So don't forget to go to the emergency when you are having a severe chest pain. So apart from this chest pain part, which I have discussed in a bit details, next important symptom is shortness of breath. So shortness of breath, that is dyspnea, which we medically call dyspnea, can be due to either cardiac reasons or due to lung causes. So it is often very difficult for us also to differentiate which is cardiac and which is pulmonary, that is which is from lung cause. But one or two features I can tell you. If the chest pain is shortness of breath is aggravated when the patient is lying down, or when the patient is going to sleep, and after maybe 1 or 2 hours the patient suddenly feels shortness of breath, has a bout of cough, and he has to sit and go to an open window and he is sweating. So these incidents often suggest that this is a cardiac chest pain, and moreover cardiac shortness of breath, and moreover if it is associated with pedal edema or associated with other symptoms like pink frothy sputum, expectoration, so that can be sign of cardiac shortness of breath. And number 3 most important thing is syncope, that is loss of consciousness. Now loss of consciousness I have discussed in other videos also in details, because it is a big chapter itself, and there can be many causes like cardiac causes, neurological causes, or neurocardiogenic symptoms, syncope. But most important nature of cardiac syncope, I should say to you that it will be for a few seconds. So transient loss of consciousness, very short lasting loss of consciousness. Suppose the patient gets unconscious for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, so like that. So that is mostly in favor of cardiac syncope, because neurological causes the patient remains unconscious for a longer time. And moreover, in neurological unconsciousness, patient often has convulsions, that is convulsive movements of the limbs, or patient remains confused after they get aroused from the lapse of consciousness. So often they micturate, that is involuntary passage of urine that goes against cardiac syncope. So if these signs are not present, a patient just lapses his or her consciousness for 1 or 2 seconds, and then he regains the consciousness, and the patient is perfectly fine, then he is not confused, he is not having any paralysis of limbs. So these are mostly in favor of cardiac syncope. So in short, these are the most important symptoms which indicates significant or severe cardiac diseases, and everybody should be careful about these symptoms, and at the earliest should report to a doctor or a cardiologist.